In 1835, the establishment of the first U.S. land office in Springfield came about. Because of this, many were migrating to the Ozarks of southwestern Missouri. Among these pioneers was Melinda Fortner. She had established her claim of a 120-acre piece of land in 1867, which would in turn begin the crossroads settlement in the 1880s along the west bank of Turkey Creek. In Taney County during the 1890s, there was a discovery of zinc and lead ore deposits. This is what had mostly attracted William H. Johnson, a Springfield lawyer, to the area of Forsyth. Despite the fact that his services were often used in this area, he knew that he would have a better opportunity at real estate rather than practicing law. With the very first passenger train making its way to Hollister, William Johnson knew he had to pay a visit. Not sure of what to expect, he still had high hopes. Arriving to Hollister, Johnson saw that this little town would have much potential as a suitable destination for many travelers. He then purchased a 100-acre piece of land in hopes that someone else would see the potential it had so he could sell it. This piece of land was located on the west side of the railroad. A few years after, only a couple businesses had developed, but he knew that there was something more to come. Ye Olde English Inn, a sense of place. Seeing the potential, Johnson put his words into action. He believed that the English Tudor style was the way to go. In 1909, the railroad's first depot was built in the Tudor style that Johnson had imagined. Then the bank had been built, also with the same style. The bank was the first building to face the depot. To top it off, Johnson opened a story-and-a-half inn to attract more tourists to stay in the area. He then sold it to his son, William W. Johnson, in 1918. With the threat of floods in the Ozarks, many people were skeptical of how things would turn out. Unfortunately, in 1943, a massive flood left high waters throughout the inn. The picture you see, Mayor Townsend Godsey in a boat floating in the front lobby of the inn. In 1945, another dangerous flood washed throughout Hollister, which later left a waterline against a rock wall from the rocks gathered at Turkey Creek. In 1954, construction had been done to the dam to prevent later floods. The Ye Olde English Inn has been passed around to many people. It has been opened and closed many times. After the doors were locked, in 1980s, Janet Daly, a best-selling author, bought the inn and did a renovation in 2010. April 1st, 2011, the doors were opened once again. Ye Olde English Inn is located at 24 Downing Street, Hollister, Missouri. Along Downing Street, you will notice the beautiful English-themed buildings. The restaurant is located next door to the inn. You enter through the same front door. The restaurant used to be a pharmacy when Johnson first started to develop the area. Walking through the front door, there is an overwhelming amount of beauty. The deep red tones are warm and calming. The English feel to me is what attracts many tourists. I got the opportunity to walk through the rooms, talk to people, and take pictures. The simplicity of the rooms go well with the detailed furniture and light fixtures. Every room has its own name rather than number. Sherwood, Windsor, Lancaster, Buckingham, Cambridge, Old Bailey, Piccadilly, Dover, Mayfair, York, Wellington, and Oxford are all names of the rooms. These English rooms are modernized in their own way, yet beautiful artwork is placed on the wall for a more English feel. Besides the rooms for overnight guests, there are also lounging areas for people to sit and visit. Not only was I surprised at how beautiful the inn was when I walked through the front door, but later, after talking to people and doing a little further research, I realized that the overnight guests were also not the only guests staying in the building. I don't believe that the inn is haunted by any means, but many people after their overnight stay have later told stories of spirits in the building. Yet they never disturbed anyone, and they never seemed to be unpleasant. The most recent incidents happened a few weeks ago. The owners do in fact have people come do readings on the building to see if they can pick up spirits, but nevertheless, the spirits have never been known to be harmful. Many of us look at the inn as just a hotel in Hollister, but there's so much more behind the 100-year-old hotel in Hollister. The history of the inn is written out for everyone to see, and the doors are always open for anyone to stay.